Before we kick off this event, I would like to acknowledge a moment of silence for those affected and/or died as a result of child abuse. Thank you for being part of this event and bringing attention to this public health crisis, and thank you to the area businesses and organizations that displayed and/or decorated PinWheels. I'm Leanna Luca Conley, Deputy Commissioner for the Department of Health and Human Services. Prevention of child abuse and neglect needs the help from the whole community. I encourage everyone to take an active part in your community and in the individuals that live among us. We are fortunate to have many wonderful organizations in our community that combat child abuse on a daily basis, and I'd like to recognize a couple that really, helped with planning these events and takes every single day a commitment to combat this problem. Salvation Army, a news center, YWCA, Child Advocacy Center, court-appointed special advocates, as well as law enforcement and child protection, and the many, many other school districts and child care centers that I haven't mentioned. Now I would like to introduce Mayor Rosas to say a few words.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I would like to begin by just thanking our county executive, our Commissioner of Social Services here in Chautauqua County, but in particular the staff at the Department of Health and Human Services for hosting this presentation in different communities throughout our county, and in particular for being here in the city of Dunkirk. Since I've been mayor, we've been supporting this initiative annually. And I think it's important for all of us to understand and recognize that child abuse is happening in many communities throughout the nation, throughout New York State, in Chautauqua County, and yes, even here in the city of Dunkirk. Child abuse should never be tolerated. Our children are our future. And so I feel very proud to be participating in these efforts. Our children are our future, and keeping them safe and our families strong is our #1 goal and concern for fostering a healthy and prosperous society and community. The month of April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and as mayor of the city of Dunkirk, I support and promote those efforts, leading to reducing and ultimately eliminating risk and abuse of our children, whether at home, school, or on the playground. As mayor, I encourage everyone to join me in supporting the many positive efforts that play a role in preventing child abuse and neglect in the city of Dunkirk and in northern Chautauqua County. Thank you all for coming.
Next, we will have County Executive George Barilla.
Thank you, Leanna. Thank you, everyone. I'm very proud to be here today because today is a day that we recognize this month as Child Abuse and Neglect Awareness Month. But it's all of you out there, the folks that are working every single day, 24/7, 365 days a year, that we should honor today as part of this effort. It's the folks that whose names never appear in the paper, who are never on TV, who aren't necessarily honored in events like this, that are the backbone of the services that we provide here in Chautauqua County. The spectrum of services that we provide that go not only from our private foundations and government initiatives, but every single person in law enforcement and social services that takes a role in ensuring that when these events do occur, that there is help and then there is hope. I'm going to read also the proclamation here for you all. Whereas in federal fiscal year 2016, an estimated 667,000 children across the United States were found to be victims of child abuse and neglect. And whereas the neglect, physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and trafficking of children have no place in our communities, and these serious problems can have a long-term psychological, emotional, or physical effect on these young victims who are unable to defend themselves, and whereas we must support the healthy development of our children by surrounding them with a loving and supporting environment that promotes their social, emotional, and developmental well-being so our children can grow into caring and successful adults in our communities. And whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the meaningful connections and partnerships created among child welfare, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and neglect and promote programs and activities that benefit the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas court-appointed special advocates of Chautauqua County, Inc. has teamed up with Chautauqua County Family Court, Chautauqua County Department of Health and Human Services, and other partners to participate in the PinWheels for Prevention campaign, which raises awareness about childhood abuse prevention and about each child's entitlement to a great childhood. Now, therefore, I, George M. Borello, Chautauqua County Executive, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2019 as Child Abuse Awareness Month. Thank you all very much for being here.
Beth Starks from the Chautauqua Lake Daycare.
In addition to April being Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month, in April we also celebrate the Month of the Young Child. The Month of the Young Child is an annual celebration sponsored by the National Association for the Education of Young Children, the world's largest early childhood education association. The purpose of the Month of the Young Child is to focus public attention on the needs of young children and their families and to recognize the early childhood programs and services that meet those needs. Celebrated nationally as the Week of the Young Child, in Chautauqua County, we choose to take the whole month of April to celebrate. Today, we know more than ever about the importance of children's earliest years in shaping their learning and development. Yet never before have the needs of young children and their families been more pressing. 63% of New York students are not ready for college or career ready. Wouldn't it be great if we knew that before they were ready to graduate? Well, we do, because 60% of all 3- and 4-year-olds aren't ready for kindergarten. These are the same children, and it means that we need to intervene early. Why does childcare matter to communities? Because the economic return on investment is $1.86 for every $1 spent, and that money stays and is spent in our communities. Investing in early childhood development increases the chance that children will be successful in school, graduate from high school, go to college, or participate in career training, and ultimately to become part of your workforce as productive members of our society. If we reach children at a young age and support their development, it will reduce taxpayer spending on remedial services, juvenile justice expenditures, incarceration, and drug rehabilitation. It's easy to look away. It's easy to say, not my child, not my concern. It's easy to even sit here at a rally one day of the year standing for prevention. The children of our county need more from you. Don't look away. Learn about what's going on right in front of you in our county. Don't say, not my child, not my problem. Say, all of our children, all of our problems. And don't sit here at a rally one day of the year standing for prevention. Stand up for children every day. Be their voice. Everyone has a role to play in preventing child abuse and supporting children and families. In addition to the focus on preventing child abuse, PinWheels of Prevention are a centerpiece of a growing movement of people and organizations committed to stopping child abuse before it starts. The pinwheel is a happy and uplifting token of childhood, and it stands as a symbol of hope and the bright futures we want for New York's children. A great childhood requires a loving and supportive family and community. The Month of a Young Child is a time to recognize that children's opportunities are all of our responsibilities, and to recommit ourselves to ensuring that each and every child experiences the type of early environment at home, at childcare, at school, and in the community that will promote their early learning. Each of us has a responsibility to make the world a better place for our children. Please take a minute today to think about what you can do for the children of our community, and also please take time to recognize and appreciate the professionals who work with our youngest citizens. Let's celebrate our children and end abuse in Chautauqua County.
I know Child Advocacy Program wanted to speak. Kelly Sigler.
Today is such a joyful day. I'm so excited to have everybody here. The Child Advocacy Program prides itself on providing healing, hope, and justice to the children in our community. And I'm just so excited. I'm so excited that we have a day to talk about prevention. If everybody here goes home and talks to 10 people and then those 10 people talk to another 10 people, and then those 10 people talk to 10 people, that's our first step in providing prevention in our community. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss those hard, uncomfortable things that sometimes we don't. Today is not a day to just plant pinwheels. Today is a day to make a commitment 365 days a year to make a difference in our community for the children, because every child matters. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you again for everybody that has come to participate in this awareness event. We are now going to take time to plant pinwheels.